You should definitely never ever go to Cornwall. So last week I decided that it would be a good idea, given that I'm so busy all the time, to have a nice relaxing break in beautiful Cornwall. Now, I'm from up to north of England, so Cornwall is a fair trek, and it took about 6 hours to get to the sort of Newquay area. The plan was to travel around Cornwall, around the coastline, and doing some bits of touristy stuff, visiting all the beautiful beaches and coastline and everything, and then head off back up to north to where I am now. First off, I decided that I was going to drive to Devon first and then spend the night there and then head into Cornwall just to break up the journey a little bit and visit some friends on the way. So the first place I headed to in Cornwall was Newquay. Now Newquay is a bit like Scarborough. Very busy, it's the school holidays. I found it quite easy to park actually. It was an alright place. I've been there before. It is quite nice. There's a Poundland there and everything. From there I headed to Bodmin to go to Bodmin Jail. Just busy. You spend a lot of money to get in there. You watch a few videos, you read a lot of stuff, and then you go see like 8 cells, one part of it, because the rest of it's been turned into a hotel to make even more money. Given that we're now part of a global pandemic and also Brexit has happened and lots of things have gone to shit, people of Cornwall have decided to put all their prices up of everything, including campsites, which I think is a bit ridiculous given that you want to bring tourists in. So I paid £40 for one night on a campsite without electricity or anything. I was there probably 15 hours. 40 quid. The main issue with Cornwall is that the roads are only this wide and my van is this wide. They must have some special sort of micro cars over in Cornwall because I don't know how they physically fit on the road. Now, you know when you see something in the distance it looks smaller or a road looks like it gets narrower? Well, that's not the case. It literally does get narrower. The further you go, it just gets narrower, and then a car comes the other way and then you have to reverse all the way back for 17 miles to find a little pull-in. At one point, a guy scraped down the side of my van because that's just how they drive down there. I'll be the first one to sign a petition to build motorways all over Cornwall so it's easier to get round. For some reason, they don't have white lines in the middle of the road. I think that's what separates Cornwall from actual England. I think that Cornwall's just its separate place, a bit like Wales but worse. It's got all the road signs are in some sort of foreign language, and they don't have white lines on the roads. It's like a free-for-all. It's like a demolition derby. For some reason, also the roads are this wide, but the hedges are fucking 20 feet tall, so you can't see if anything's coming when you go around a corner. You just have to hope for the best and hope that your insurance is going to cover yourself. Cornwall is a massive place. It takes 17 hours to get from one side to the other. You know that thing where they say that the maps that you read as a child, the world maps aren't realistic in sizes and they show some countries bigger than they actually are and all that kind of thing? Well, Cornwall looks like it's about this big on the side of England. Well, actually it's not. It's bigger than Australia, given it takes so long to get from one side to the other. And in the entirety of Cornwall, which is massive, there's only one fuel station. And good luck finding that. When you do find that, it's not petrol and diesel that they serve there. Because when I filled up with diesel, my van no longer wanted to work or go up any hills anymore. So what I found out from a local is the way they make fuel over there is, and this is another process of something very famous in Cornwall, the Cornish pasty. If you've ever had a Cornish pasty, it's the driest thing on earth. And what I realised is that they dehydrate them, and the juices that fall out of them, they then pump straight to the fuel stations and fill tourist vans with them. So Cornish pasties, the main ingredient in a Cornish pasty is pepper, and then the driest, I don't even know what the pastry I've had pastry before. It's kind of moist. Not in Cornwall. It's something special. So they just fill that with pepper, then they grate some potato in it, and then they show it to some meat, but then don't let it actually touch the meat, and there you have a Cornish pasty. And then the fuel is a byproduct of a Cornish pasty. Land's End is wank. Don't go to Land's End. It's a tourist trap. You drive down there, the streets get narrower and narrower, and then it's just a one-way system, and then they go £10 please. You ask them what is in there, they don't tell you. They ask you how long you're parking there for, they don't tell you. It's just £10. That's it. Get to Land's End, £10. Fuck that. Every single road sign in Cornwall says Penzance on it. No matter where you are in Cornwall, whichever direction you're going, you are near Penzance. That's just the way it is. So you'll never not find... Penzance is probably the best place to go to because there's a road sign for it everywhere in Cornwall. I went to a really nice, pretty place called St Ives. Now, St Ives is a bit like Scarborough, but very pretty in comparison. And what you'll find is that there's a car park, and it's tucked away. You know the film The Labyrinth, where Sarah's got to get to the castle to find Toby and that, and to get her little brother back. Well, the car park is the castle, and then there's a labyrinth around it, which is St Ives. If you can find your way to that car park, then you deserve to be given a child, because it is impossible. The roads get narrower, the buildings get taller. It is just impossible to get to the car park. And what happens also is that their little goblins come out of the ground and turn the road signs around, and then you go the wrong way. Everything to stop you from getting to the one car park in St Ives. It is such a pretty place, but you just can't stop there. Just drive past it as quick as you can and then go to Penzance, because that's the only place that's got a road sign that actually takes you to that place. I was in Cornwall for about 7 days, and I spent 6 of those driving. For some reason, when you've got 50 cars going down the narrowest road in the world ever, and then tractors coming the other way, it just takes 4 years to get 2 miles. It is just not worth going. Don't go to Cornwall. I'm not sure why, but when you leave Devon, all phone signal stops. I don't know if there's some sort of electrical wall that goes up, but that's it. Say goodbye to 4G, 3G, 5G, everything. There is just no internet signal whatsoever. And that is probably so that you can't document how shit Cornwall is. If you're going to go to Cornwall, be prepared to spend most of your time reversing down narrow roads, because that is just how it happens now. Like, I think that the locals just don't care about visitors and just stand their ground, and it is just like a standoff, 2 cars end to end. And if you want to get to the beach, the locals don't want you to get to that beach, so they'll just stand there. And I think it's deliberate. It's some sort of protest, and it's just not made for, it's not even made for small vehicles, never mind vans. Just don't take your van to Cornwall. If you're going to go to Cornwall, fly there and stay in a travel lodge for a week, because it's easier. It's just less stressful. I've come back from Cornwall feeling way more stressed than when I went, and that was the opposite intention. This was meant to be a relaxing week for me, and it wasn't a relaxing week for me. I've spent £30,000 just in a week, paying for parking, paying for tourist attractions, paying for the shit fuel made of Cornish pasty juice, and just getting around from one place to another. Campsites are a massive rip-off. I will say that Cornwall literally has the best coastlines anywhere. I've not seen anywhere. I've been around the world, lots of places, and the Cornish coast is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Google it and have a look at it on Google, because it's just easier. It's less stressful. You'll see the nice beaches on Google. People will have already taken really nice photos of them in summer when it's sunny and all that. It's not worth going. It's probably raining there anyway, so when you get there, all your photos will be shit. So just Google it. Look on Google Maps, Google Earth and all that, if they've even got that down there. It's better than actually going there. The expectation of Cornwall is way better than the reality of being in Cornwall. This video was proudly sponsored by the Cornish Residents Association. They have made it clear that they do not want you in Cornwall, so keep away. Thank you very much. This video was just a joke, so calm your tits. Bye, Felicia.